Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. So in this video, I'm going to discuss how to create a Canvas application. Right. So the very basic way is if you go to the Power Apps and if you go to the Create, here you are able to see there is an option to start with blank canvas. Right. And yes, we already discussed how to start. So if you click on this and if I click on the responsive, meaning I selected responsive so that it should work on the both mobile and tablet. All right. So you are in a position to add the different controls here. So if you want to give the headers to the page and footer, and then if you want to keep something as a main container, you can go to the layout. Here you will be able to see there is something called a container. Then there is something called vertical and horizontal container. Right. In container, you can adjust the width as you want, but in case of horizontal container, the width of these controls will be divided into the equal size. Similarly, it will work for the vertical. There is something called gallery, and also how to design the layout of which you will be able to decide here. And you will design the layout, and then you are going to map it to the data, right? And even you are in a position to add the different types of input controls, then display controls you are able to use. Then you can even play around the medias, different types of medias, images, 3D objects, camera, even measuring camera, barcode reader, video, audio, even microphone. Lots of things you are able to add here. And obviously, so each control has different properties, so you need to go through the properties to use that. So even we will see uh, how to use the media and all. Icon and shapes are used for the clickable events. So if you want to do something when user click on that, so you can use. Then charts are there. So bar chart, that is nothing but column chart, line chart, and pie chart, and even you can add the Power BI tile also. Right. So this is how controls can be added to design the canvas application. And once you add meaning once you design your UI, then you will be able to add the data. And once you add the data, you will be able to map it to the specific controls. So then how you want to design the form, how you want to take the screen, so whatever, everything you can do. And this is what we have discussed so far in past videos in my Power App series. So now there are a couple of ways. Okay, this is the one way. Creating a blank canvas application is a one way. And here we will design a UI first, and then we are going to map the data. But there is something called a start from the data. So another way is to start creating an application based on the data. So meaning directly it will create an application. Later on you can change. Still that is a canvas application. You will have more control on the UI. Right. So you can create the applications from the Dataverse tables. So if I let me go back and if I come to the create screen, so here you can see there is something called start with the data. So now default sources you will be able to see here, create a new table. So you are if you are using Dataverse, then you can create a new table and you can use that table directly to create the application. So how it will create, we will see. But it is going to create a CRUD application. It is going to create a CRUD application, right? Then there is something called select existing table. If you want to use the table which is already created in or already available in the database, meaning the Dataverse, you can use that. And if you want to connect with the external applications, meaning creating an application from the SQL Server database or creating an application from the Excel or from the SharePoint list, you are in a position to do. Let me select Excel here as an source, right? So what I will do, I will it will just show the file location once you select the file. So it will ask to select the table. So if whenever you are working with Power Platform using the Excel, your data should be in a table format. If it is not, then it is difficult. Okay, if I go to this OneDrive for business, if I go to the OneDrive, here you can see there is something called employee leave request form. Okay, and if I open this, you will see the list of tables here. I'll select that table, and so here you have two options. So auto generate values in a new column. This is just an identity column for the application. So because see, we are going to use this Excel from your cloud, right? So how you want to do, you can do that. Even you can select the existing column as an your primary key column or employee ID column. If I select this, or even if I make this auto generated, it will work. But this is the recommended one. Right, so let me keep this one auto generate values in new column, and let me say create application. Okay, okay, right. So one second, I think that selection, yeah, it is there. Why this is getting failed? Even the connection is successful. So let me enter my email address there, enter the file location to filter result. Okay, this is what I don't want. I just wanted to connect with this. And yeah, I'm able to do, but still it is not picking. Let me say add new connection. And this is the connection. Okay, I'm just trying to even refresh this one. This got added. And now if I go and if I select this Excel, this table, and if I say create, okay, somehow it is not working with that file. Let me see whether that file is available. Obviously, it should be available. Otherwise, why it will show me that file? So employee leave request form. This is what the Excel file I would like to use. Okay. So it got already connected. And let me create this. Okay. And I selected auto generate, but the identity column was already there. Maybe that could be the reason that it was not picking. And let me say create. Okay, it got picked, right? Because of that column, it was throwing the error. I had a one extra column. What it does for me, okay, so I selected the data first, and based on the data, it will automatically create the entire CRUD application. So what it is using for us, okay, this is the header. You can say data source info, okay, and in text you are saying this, but you can change this. So I can say, let me add it in the text format, employee leave request form, right? If I open the properties, so if I align this at the center, so this is how it should look. And let me zoom in. So this is again, this is the one of the form. This is the main screen. Okay, this is the complete screen. And inside the main screen, you will see this is the screen container. Then this is a table name header. Then there is something called a body container. Inside that there is a sidebar. So all these are the containers. Okay, inside a container, you will be able to add a search box, right? So we already discussed search box is nothing but you are in a position to filter the records from this gallery, right? Even see automatically it has picked the email ID, employee ID, and the name, right? So this is they have picked vertical gallery. If I click on this, you will be able to see it is selecting a record gallery, right? So this is how application got created, and this is the form. This is the form in the main container. There is something called a form. You can edit. Okay, I don't want to use this one. I don't want to show this one, right? What it has done, it has added the form, but you need to add. I mean, see, this is actually, if I see the properties of this, you can see the form of this table. This is the data source, and if I go update context, so it is going to update the current items. So this is the data source, default mode new. Okay, so default mode, if new, it is going to say, but the new mode is coming from the variable. Okay, so if I click on this, and if I see default mode, so I'll be able to see, okay, new mode, form mode dot new, edit mode, form mode dot edit, and form mode dot view. So what you are going to set here, right? So what it is going to do is, the one form, this is the only form it is used. But let's say if someone click on this, if I select this record, or if I play this application, so you will be able to perform everything, entire current application. So if I click on this, it is going to change this form itself, right? So this form will be turned into, automatically it is getting turned into the edit form. And this is how this is done, if you ask me. So let me go back, and if I select this, so you can see this is the form one. So it is going to new form one. So it is going to change, and then new mode is equal to true, and this is what the variable used to set the type of form, right? So this can be, this form can be used for the view purpose only. Even it can be used for the updating purpose. It can be used to create a new record. Only one form is there. This is how the AI will create an application, CRUD application. Let me run this. And since I selected this, okay, I don't want to keep anything. This is the delete. So let me say delete. Are you sure? And this, it has added a screen. Okay, so let me delete this. I'm going to delete all the records. Right. So CRUD, out of this, okay, if I reduce the size, so you can see I have three more. Let me delete this. Right. So these are the two records I'm left. Let's say I wanted to update the, meaning the data for this record. So I can say, and I can click on the edit. If I click on the edit, so this icon will be changed to tick mark, and then here I can say, okay, so this is what, and then maybe you may want to update the leave date. You can update, and let's save this, right? So this got updated, and even if I want to submit anything, if I click on this, and if I say, okay, Deva at the rate, let's say webchamp.com, don't try to send the emails to these email IDs. These are the dummy email IDs. This is not exist in reality. Let's say 001111. Then people may want to take a leave in the month of October. So this is where you can select. You can even select the date and time. This is fine. And this is, let's say, the type of leave is sick leave, right? And if I try to submit this, so this will get submitted. Okay, cannot save. Please check the errors in the form. Okay. So, oh, I deleted that one field. Okay, submit form one, and it says apps ID is required. Okay, so this field should be, it should generate automatically. Even I selected, but here it works. It has not picked that. So, and is required, it is saying it is required. That's why, right? But this is how you are in a position to submit the data, add the new data. If I resolve that error, it will add the data in this gallery. If I want to filter something, I can click on this, right? On tensor start with an supported. Okay. So it might have used the function which is not supported. So in that case, you need to even check what is the ordinal the function it is using. Okay, on select default and enter text it is a search. Right. So we need to configure that. We need to write a search formula here or filter formula here, and that could be filtering here. Even search input dot text and email. Right. So if I play this application and if I say BB, it is not going to show me anything. Yeah, but system is able to create an application. Okay, because of that ID or something, it is not working. But if I play the application, I'm able to make the selection here, and you are in a position to update the records, right? So here you can delete the record, you can update the record, you can add new records, and even you are able to read this. So if I click on this current mode of the form is view. So we are changing the form mode here, and by clicking on this edit button. By default view mode, and if you click on this new button, this form will be, or form mode will be changed to new. So it will remove these fields, and it will allow you to enter the new record. So this is how it's going to change. So this is the different approach. First approach we saw how to create it from the blank. Another approach is what something we use here, the data first, and then it lets the Power Apps create the application for you, right? Even here you can use, if I go to the start of the data, you can use the other data sources. Like if I say connect to, you can connect to the SharePoint also, but you need to have the SharePoint list. So let me go to the SharePoint, not this. Okay, go to this communication site. And if I go to the my sites, so this is what the, let's say, my site. And if I want to create a list on this, even I can say list to create a list form. Okay. Okay, this should go to the webcam data analysis. This is the site, show inside, show list in site navigation. It is fine. And the demo list, right? I'll say create. Okay. And even what we can do is created add column. You are able to add the column here for different types of data or files and all. So if I see all column types, you are seeing here. Okay. So these are the default column. When you create a list, it got created. And if you want to create a new column, so you can create new column, set a single line of text. Okay. Even you can change the type. So let me say new and then give the header as a name. So it is not going to use the calculated value. So let me click on the more options. So this is the number of character required, that this column contains information. Okay, this I'm just, even if you want to add the formula to validate the columns, you can add that. Okay, let me say save. I don't want to do this. And let me add the one more field, that is of text. Even I can try with the email. No, but it is not there. Okay, so let me say new column, and that is of type email. Right. So if I want to access this list, you need to copy the URL until the lists, right? And if I select this, so you need to say this is the URL, and you can try to connect. So this is the, and then this is what the demo list, right? This is what the list I created. Now let's create an application. Even you need to edit the properties and all for the all the columns, because see, it is going to use all the columns. If I click on this new, if I play the application, if I click on this new, you can see I can enter the title, I can enter name and then email, and there is something called attachment. I'm able to pick the attachment also, right? So this is the another way that you can create application, and that will be easily or at the very much faster platform. I can say that you can create an application in few hours, and then it can be usable. Later on, you can modify, you can build the logic, you can add the logic, you can custom the UI, whatever you want to do, you can custom, right? So this is how the option, this is called create an app using the data, right? Now there is something called create an app using the Copilot, right? Let me go back. I'm not saving any kind of application here. So even you can describe what he wants to create, and it will create the application for you. So if I say create an app to collect data from student, so create an app for, I can say, so you should write a proper prompt so that it should work as you expect. App for student registration to collect the data, in Excel. Okay. Intentionally, I'm keeping this to Excel, so it may ask, or it might create the Excel online. Okay. So let's see. Even I'm trying first time. There is an option, but how it is going to do. Okay. So what it does, it has created a table. It has created a one student registration table in the Dataverse. And so if you look here, and if you fill that student name, date of birth, email, and his full name, and then rest of the information is like, okay, this is what the information it has considered, and this is generated with AI. You can see the stat. This table is generated with AI. So if you think this is what you are looking for, or this is good, then you can say save and open app. So it will create an app for you. And if you want to add new table, you can add new table. If you want to consider the existing table for this application, you can consider. If you add one more table, you are in a position to edit the relationship. And once everything is set up, so you will be saying save and open application. So this will create a small application. So this is how you can, meaning very quickly you can create a Power App application for your use using the Copilot. So, but you should be able to write a prompt in clear way. Right. So this is okay. This got added when the data source got added, and you can see okay even it has generated some sample student data. Right. Everything. This is in single screen only. Everything is there. Table container is there. Body container is there. Inside that even sidebar. Inside sidebar we can have the search box, and we can have the new record creation option. We can have the gallery also. Right, this is what they call a list separate one. But actually, this is okay. List separator line it has added, and then there is something called gallery. Right. So in this way, even you can create application. It will automatically mean you can tell to the co-pilot what you wants to do, and even you can see here if you want to add a screen, you can say add a screen, add a form, or add a button, and okay. So I would like to add a button to submit this form. This is called form. Okay, it's already there. I need not to do anything. It's already there. But let's say if I want to add a screen, you can add a screen. You can write here prompt and it will add. Right. So this is the one of the third way to create an app using the Copilot. Now there is something called create an application from a template. So what you can do is you can create a three-screen mobile application. So start with the templates. So that there are templates. If I go back, I don't want to save this again. And if I say start with the template, if I go to the create, start with data, blank canvas, not this. So here we should see an option start with templates. So I'm unable to see that option here. But if you go to the apps, okay. So obviously in Learn nothing is there. In Plans nothing is there. So if you go to the apps, we saw how to start with the Copilot, how to start with the data, and there is something called start with an app template. So this is the one you can use, right? And even the from Excel. So I selected that. Okay, select an Excel data for your app. So this is going to connect. Then you can select the file, the one which you want to use for your application. So let me use this data analysis course registration. If I open this, so here I have something called office.tables, and I'm going to auto generate values in new column. So this will be a ID column. It will be a reference. Okay. Again, the problem is same. I might have used this file, and this file has a column, auto generated column. Because of this column, we are getting that error. So if I remove that column and let me pick this. Okay, so this is what the office.table, and if I say create app, it is going to create. So make sure that your file is not used in past while creating an application. So again, this is going to create application. So this is the ready-made template. So it will create a three-screen application. So one first screen is for the browse. Okay, so that is fine. Ignore the errors at this moment. I'm just wanted to show you how this is working. Then detailed screen, and the another one is the edit screen. Okay, so here you are able to search. Here you may get that selected item, or you maybe select the item, and then even here you can edit this, right? So this is how three screen, meaning when you use or you create the application from template, so you will be able to create a three screen mobile application, and this is supported for the mobile. You can see these templates and all are available here, right? And the size is looks like a mobile. So you can even here you can go here and you can select the data, and then you can say create an app, create app and all. Then Power App Studio. So you can customize this. This is fine. Yeah, and even there are a couple of templates, meaning you can create your own templates also. You can use the others template also. So this is the way to create an application. I mean, these are the four ways I discussed how to create an application. So first of all, you can create it from the blank, right? So if I go to the create, see you are in a position to create or start with the blank. Then you can start with the copilot. You can start with the data, or you can use the templates, right? So either of the way you can use to create a CRUD application. So basically, Power Apps is a platform. This is going to replace the web applications. Earlier, people were creating a web application. So nowadays, it is not required to hire the peoples who has a skill sets from the programming. You can create a small scale applications for your businesses, right? So this is all about this Canvas application, and obviously with respect to the Dataverse and the uh, model-driven applications, I know you might be more interested. So we will start this soon. So till the time, you can subscribe WebChamp, and do not forget to hit the like button for the videos, share the videos, and learn the technology. Thank you. Thank you for watching the video. Have a nice day. Happy learning.